The war was over. The Hollow were gone. Their god machine had been destroyed. Space felt quiet again, like a deep breath after a long scream. But the galaxy had changed forever. The survivors began to rebuild. Earth, though broken and scarred, still turned under the sun. Cities slowly rose from the ashes. Green returned to the blackened ground. Children ran through streets where soldiers once fought. People looked up at the sky, and for the first time in years they saw stars, not fire. Across other worlds, things were the same. Ruined planets began to heal. The strange silence left behind by the Hollow felt heavy, but also peaceful. The galaxy had lost much: ships, cities, leaders, and entire civilizations. But it had gained something too: hope. In the council chamber, now held on a neutral space station, leaders from across the galaxy stood together. They no longer argued or competed. There were no more jokes about humans, no more smug smiles when Earth was mentioned. Instead, there was quiet respect. General Zorak stood at the center, his eyes, once full of worry, now held pride. He pressed a button, and a large screen lit up. On it was the face of Captain Rhea Morgan. She was smiling. "Recording. By the time you see this," her voice said, "I'll be gone. Maybe I'll be stardust, or maybe I'll be floating somewhere out there. It doesn't matter. What matters is that we stopped them. Not with strength, not with size, but with fire, with unity, with heart." The room was silent. She continued, "We were the ones no one believed in, the ones they laughed at, the ones who were supposed to fail. But we stood when the strong fell, and we proved one thing: the fire inside a human soul burns brighter than any machine." The video ended. No one clapped. No one needed to. Some cried. Some stood in silence. But all remembered her words. A monument was built. Not just for Rhea, but for every human who had fought, died, and sacrificed. It stood in the center of the Galactic Unity Park, carved from the steel of wrecked ships and the stone of burned worlds. At its base were 5 simple words written in every known language. They fought like fire itself. Humans became more than just a race. They became a symbol. Wherever the galaxy needed courage, someone told the story of Earth. Children grew up learning about Captain Elena, David Rains, and Rhea Morgan. Artists painted their battles. Songs were written, statues were raised. Even alien generals once, proud and silent, told their troops, "Be like the humans." But humanity did not let the praise change them. They kept building. They helped other worlds rebuild too. They shared their knowledge, their tech, their lessons. They created schools, peacekeepers, and defense systems, not to rule, but to protect. The galaxy had saved them. Now they wanted to save it back. Years passed, then decades. And still, the Hollow did not return. Some believed they were truly gone. Others whispered that a small part of them still drifted in the dark, waiting. But if they ever came back, the galaxy would not face them alone. It would face them as one. In a small museum on Earth under the stars, an old recording played for new visitors. A young girl stood and watched it with wide eyes. It showed Captain Rhea standing in her ship, smiling before the final mission. "Remember," she said, "you don't have to be the biggest. You don't have to be the strongest. You just have to be the one who doesn't give up. Because even in the darkest night," she looked into the camera, "a single spark can light a fire." The screen faded. The girl looked up at her father and asked, "Is that really how humans saved the galaxy?" He smiled and nodded. "Yes, that's how it happened." And outside the museum, the stars burned bright, a reminder that even in the cold silence of space, the fire of humanity would never go out.